probably in some type of a military bunker. The Great Pyramid itself is a power generator. It was built on top of an aquifer, and the water running underneath the Great Pyramid would run underneath in that aquifer, would then run right underneath the solid granite, magnetized granite that was there, crystal granite. It creates physiostatic electricity. Those ions would get pushed up into the Grand Gallery, and they used to have resonating rods in the slots going up the Grand Gallery. When it got to the King's Chamber, some other type of fusion would happen, and it would then send the energy up through the apex, and the apex, which is now missing, would then transmit it out wirelessly to the obelisk, which then collect this ambient electricity. And if you had a JED, you can pick up this ambient wireless electricity. You can see the JED connected to light bulbs and so forth, like at Ndera. And so Nikola Tesla copied that same energy power technique with the Wardenclyffe Tower. What they realized was we can take this ark. They made this makeshift granite box, which is not a sarcophagus, because I can't even fit in it. I'm 6'4". I knew it wasn't a sarcophagus, but it's the same exact, I measured it. It's the same exact dimensions as what? The Ark of the Covenant. So when Akhenaten took that, he took the power source for Egypt. As time continued to go by and cultures and the way that the economics and the civilizations and the kingship and everything changed, they began to then, for whatever reason, handpick specific people to do specific things, and they would then create these genetically modified or bloodline people. Yeshua was one of them. He was a chosen one for whatever the full mission was. And I think the real mission was to bring a certain level of Christ consciousness, which existed before Jesus Christ, that terminology ever came to be. The first baptism that was taught is in the Emerald Tablets. He talks about being baptized via elevated consciousness, being able to rise up to another level and look back to see where you were before. And you'll be born again many times in one lifetime if you continue to ascend. I put the New Testament where Jesus is speaking, and I put both the Atlanteans' words from the Emerald Tablets, and you see that Jesus is literally mimicking what he learned from the ancient mystery schools, which he learned directly from the Egyptian mysteries from both the Atlanteans' teachings. The real text is 36,000 years old. It's just a mimicking of ancient texts, and a lot of different religions cropped out of his spiritual writings that he wrote in those Emerald Tablets. I believe that Jesus, his real name is Yeshua. First of all, he was a real person that did exist. I've been to the house where he grew up in Egypt, because if you remember in the Bible, Jesus disappears from the Bible at the age of 12. He's gone. Where does he go? The Gospel of the Holy 12, which was left out of the Bible, has the answer. He goes to Egypt. I've been there. If you go to Coptic Cairo, you can go to the house where Jesus and his mother lived. He was learning the Egyptian mysteries. From there, he went all the way up into Tibet to learn Reiki healing and Qigong. And then he left from there and went down into India to learn the mystic arts. When you go to Egypt, if you ever notice all those chipped away gods, that was under the order initially. Who started that? Akhenaten. So Akhenaten decided, I'm going to become a monotheistic ruler and not the kind that believes in multiple gods. And what got into him was Amun-Ra, who's also Thoth's brother. He's the one who said, whenever you give thanks, you say amen to me, you give thanks to me. This is why people say amen. They're not saying amen to the creator of the universe. They're actually saying amen to this guy who says, a brutal, killing ruler. There'll be no other God but me. I'm a jealous God. That made it into the biblical text. Why would the creator of the universe be jealous? This was Amun-Ra talking. You can look him up on the Jewish American Library and all that stuff. His name is all over the place. He's all in there interacting and talking and creating all kinds of issues and problems. And he told Akhenaten that you worship me and you get everyone to worship me and deface all the other gods. So Akhenaten started ordering and decreeing that all these things be chipped away everywhere you go. Chip away the faces, chip away the ears. That's why he was kicked out of Egypt. He went to the Great Pyramid and he went to that stone box area inside the King's Chamber and took Ark of the Covenant with him. See, Akhenaten is Moses. That's the Moses story. The people that were this Exodus that left out of Egypt, they were the people who converted from believing in multiple gods to believing in the one God religion, monotheism, following Akhenaten. And he fled